Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I am giving this session from a reception of a hotel. What a strange place for something like this, but in the same time, it's in line with the name. You will see. I have lots of memories in this hotel in my hometown in Susa, and it resonates a lot with this name. You may be hearing some music in parallel. Please let me know if you hear me well, first of all. Should I like raise my voice? You hear me well, so I don't need to scare people here, the reception. So thank you. The name today, as you know, is Al-Jabbār. We have reached this name and we are still in the same verse, which is Surah Al-Hashr 59, verse 23. And you know that this verse started with Alimul Ghaybi wa Shahada, and people did not, I mean, the scholars, the Sufi scholars, they did not make that Alimul Ghaybi wa Shahada as a name. They made it as an attribute. Though I will be studying it at the end of the verse and study the connection of Alimul Ghaybi wa Shahada to all the names that are in that verse. We went through Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus, Al-Salam, Al-Mu'min, Al-Muhaymin, and Al-Aziz. And we made sure that in every name we retranslate it as a unity of and a force of. A unity of, and that's the divine essence. So to refer to the divine as a unity of something instead of the something, and a force of, so a force to reactivate, to activate in the human being, and that's the human heritage, and that's the human inheritance of the divine itself. After as-salam, after peace, comes al-mu'min, comes trust. And after trust comes conscious vigilance, al-muhaymin, the space of conscious vigilance that holds the space for trust. And we saw that the conscious vigilance, the space of al-muhaymin, needs to be protected inwardly and outwardly through the inviolable dignity, and that was Al-Aziz. So what's the call after that? We repeat again that a name is calling ontologically for the name that comes after. And that's my theory. My thesis is that every name is called for by the name that comes before. It is a necessity. Without, it is a necessity. It comes to fix a misincarnation of the name that comes before. It doesn't come to fix the name before because all the names are complete in themselves. But because you are incarnating and these names and they come and they manifest in this universe, each name has the potential to be misincarnated. So the name that comes after will always help a reincarnation, a healthy incarnation. Okay. So it fixes the name that comes before it in a way. You understand? For us, in the realm of manifestation. I hope I'm clear here. Do you understand this subtlety? Thank you. So it does not fix the name before it. It fixes the incarnation. It speaks to the shadow of the name that comes before it. And hashallah, the divine does not have shadows, but the incarnation of the divine in the human realm, in the human consciousness, in the realm of manifestation, خلق الظلمات والنور, necessary, it is a necessity that the human being will manifest light and shadow. It is our proper. So, and we have that dialogue. Always we keep in the dialogue, and that's why there are dhulumat, lots of layers of shadows, and there is one nur. It is the same consistent nur that comes and repairs every time. Like there is this deviation, if you want, and every time there is this light that comes and bring it back to the uh, I don't want to say the straight path, but brings it back to Inna Rabbi ala Sirat al-Mustaqim, brings it back to the living path of the divine. So each name is an integration of the name that comes before it, as well as you have said. Thank you very much, Candice. And yeah, so what is the call now? Now we reach Al Aziz. Okay, so my friends, we reach this inviolable space. We reach this inviolable space of conscious vigilance that is holding space for trust, that is making peace possible, and that is protecting Al Mulk, which is protecting Ar Rahim, which is protecting Ar Rahman, or emanating from Ar Rahman. What is the call after Al Aziz? Please write and tell me. What do we need after forget that I told you that the name is Al-Jabbār, and forget all the translations and all the definitions you may know of Al-Jabbār. Please let us be philosophers. Just go empty your cup and tell me now, after you reach this space of inviolability, this inviolable space, what is the need? Philosophically, ontologically speaking, what do we need? Now you're Aziz. What do you need after Aziz? Do I see are you writing something, because I don't see it?
Yes, they are. I can tell you what they say. So
Yeah.
there's to defend it or protection.
Yes. To defend it, to protect it. Yes. To heal it. Movement forward, outward. Thank you. So, and that's Al Jabbar. That's what Al Jabbar is. Okay. So that's how I translate Al Jabbar. It is the power that repairs, the force that restores, the sovereignty that orders the real. Again, it is the power that repairs, the force that restores, and the sovereignty that orders the real. This is no longer the strength that simply stands upright. It is the strength that intervenes where something has been broken. Because you may reach that place when you are upright. You become Aziz. But I mean, you've been, I'm sure, through these manifestations. Many people, they feel that Izzah, for example, in the month of Ramadan, the 10 last days, if people allow themselves really to go through that beautiful exercise, the last 10 days, you feel unbreakable. You may have lived that experience. I have lived it many times. I know what I'm talking about. So, any exercise that you give yourself to, at some point you reach that I'm Aziz. You feel like you are included, you are embraced in Al-Izzah, in Al-Izzah of, of the divine. وَلِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةِ وَلِرَسُولِهِ وَلِلْ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. You reach that, you are in that realm of Izzah. But the day of Eid, the next day, okay, if you are a very good believer, if you are a very good one, it will take you 3 4 days to become broken, to break that izzah. I mean, true or false? Most of the people, they reach a false kind of izzah, but even the people who reach a true izzah, even prophets, when they reach that true izzah, Subhanallah, that's why Subhana Rabbika Rabbil Izzah. Huh? So after that, something must break. The Sunnatullah. So Al-Jabbar is the strength that intervenes where something has been broken. After dignity comes the repair of wounded dignities. Now, the root Jabara in classical Arabic means, first of all, to set broken bone. So, Al Jabr, before becoming Al Jibra, uh, because of Jabir ibn Hayyan, but Jabir ibn Hayyan was called Jabir ibn Hayyan because his function before becoming Jabir, he was a Gabor. Jabir, Gabor. He was he was mending broken bones. The person who mends a broken to set a broken bone is called Jabir. And if he set many broken bones, and he's a very good one, we call him Jabbar. Jabara means also to place a splint, to repair a fracture, to straighten what is crooked, to compensate for weakness, to restore a lost integrity. In classical usage, Jabbar al-Azm, he said the broken bone. Jabr, reduction of a fracture, restoration. Al-Jabbar is first of all then the physician of fractures. First of all, the first layer of meaning. Linguistically speaking, Al-Jabbar means the physician of fractures. Before being a political power, it is a therapeutic function of the divine and of people who want to be Abdul Jabbar. There is a major misreading. I guess you agree with me if you have if you are uh, if you have some knowledge of Arabic and if you have been introduced to this name before through reading Quranic translation, etc. Like the popular usage, ancient and modern, Jabbar has almost entirely become oppressor, despot, tyrant, and when it comes with God, they say all powerful or um, yeah, the power that is above any power, the power that actually forces all the other powers. And but in our mind, it is a despot, a tyrant, oppressor. Dictators in our countries are called Jabbarin. So this is a historical semantic drift, actually, because every force can either restore or crash. Every force can either restore or crash. The tyrant is a false Jabbar. He forces in order to dominate. Al Jabbar, the true Al Jabbar, forces in order to heal. When you mend a broken bone, you force that bone to be fixed. But in order to heal, not to dominate, it is a force that does not ask permission from the fracture, but that acts only to restore vertically. So that's the Jabbar of thing. It does not ask permission from the fracture. Do you understand? It's not like the Malakut thing. It's not like the Mulk thing will come afterwards. Huh? It does not ask permission. Alam al-Jabbar, the world of al-Jabarut, does not ask permission, does not tell you, may I? It does not tell you, may I fix your broken arm? No. It will just gaze at it and fix it. And that fixation may be painful, but it will fix it. The In the Quran, other than the name Al-Jabbar mentioned for Allah, the name Al-Jabbar has been mentioned in a negative way uh, with Musa in particular, his people told him at some point, إن تكونوا إلا أن تكون جبارا في الأرض. If you are from France, we have the French session in maybe 15 minutes. So, but if you want, keep going in English and practice it. I don't have an excellent English, so it won't be difficult for you to understand me. So they told him, إن تريدوا إلا أن تكون جبارا في الأرض. You just want to be a tyrant, an oppressor on earth. And in other verses, إن الله لا يهدي كل جبار عنيد. The all there is, the divine law, the divine sunnah, the divine wisdom, the divine intelligence does not orient, does not offer hidayah, light of orientation to the Jabbar Anid, to people who are oppressing, tyrant, and going against the cosmic law, against the fitrah. That's what the Anid is. Resisting the fitrah, resisting the cosmic law, which is goodness and being good, basically. So, and there is another verse, the children of Israel, when Musa told them to go to the الأرض المقدسة التي كتب الله لكم, the sacred land that Allah has written for you. It means that has given you a mission in it, not to take it, but has given you a mission. Go, huh? You have a mission on that land. They told him, إن فيها قوما جبارين ولا ندخلها ما داموا فيها. Huh? Musa, there are people who are jabbareen in it, and you won't enter there as long as they are there. We have to commit a genocide and exterminate them, and then we may be happy in it. That was their logic. So uh, they told him, there is there a people jabbareen, and will not enter it as long as they remain there. Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 22. So this word jabbareen is decisive here, like Jabbaran for Musa and Jabbar Anid. Because in the biblical imagination, it was often understood as giants, superhuman beings. That's why we say Fulan Jabbar, we imagine that the Jabbar is a giant. The giants, Goliath and superhuman beings, invincible race, because they are children, somehow they are métis. How to say métis? Yeah, they are children of angels and the humans. The angels, they are like angels who disobeyed the divine, and they 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 married with the humans, and they got this mixed race of the giants of Al-Jabbareen, like Goliath. So in the Quranic language, Jabbareen means above all, and Jabbar means above all people who are harsh, tyrannical, but also irreducible, irreducible, people who cannot be subdued. And here, a subtle meaning, because this is not Jalal, this is Jamal. People who cannot be subdued, people who are irreducible. What frightens and what frightened and what still frightens the children of Israel is not physical size, but the fact that these are people who cannot be annihilated, cannot be subdued. That's why Yasser Arafat, before, when he says, we are the شعب الجبارين, we are the people of Al-Jabbareen, he's not wrong, and the history is proving him right. This people is irreducible, and we'll see in the future how it is actually reducible and cannot be annihilated. So the children of Israel are still inhabited by the pharaonic paradigm, like in the time of Musa. They are still today, but in the time of Musa, after leaving Egypt, I mean, they were educated in which schools? They were formatted, their brain, their paradigm was dictated, was formatted in the pharaonic school, right? I mean, the teachings of Musa could not change a lot for the mass. Of course, there were some individuals who followed Musa, but the majority, the mass, like the mass of Sahaba in the time of Muhammad as well, right? Always the mass, they cannot take the teaching because they see the number. They don't see the teaching. They see we have a good number around this teacher. So, you know, the identity of the group takes over, and then the teachings, they get lost. Actually, many groups after that, they hate their teacher, and they expel their teacher because the importance of the group takes over. So the children of Israel were still inhabited by the pharaonic paradigm. For them, conquering a land means exterminating, enslaving, totally dominating. And suddenly, they face a people who clearly cannot be dominated, the indigenous people of Palestine, okay, cannot be crushed and cannot be reduced. They call them Jabbari. Musa, they called him Jabbar because they wanted to subdue him. And he wasn't a person who can uh, become subdued and and become a person who how to say, who is assimilated. He wasn't. The Pharaoh tried to subdue him, making him minister this, minister of war, but that's why he was Jabbar. But yes, but the Jabbar Anid, the person who is Jabbar Anid is negative because he is, the word Anid here is, it makes it negative. So you see, you won't find in the Quran, in Allah la yahdi kulla Jabbar. Hello? If Allah says in the Quran, Allah la yahdi kulla Jabbar, the divine intelligence does not orient any Jabbar, then there will be a contradiction because Allah is Al Jabbar. But it says Jabbar Anid. If this quality of being irreducible, uh, uh, you cannot be subdued, is married with Anid, resistance to Haqq, then there is a problem. And you won't find the name of God Al Anid. There isn't. Al Anid is negative, 100%. Al Jabbar is actually positive, but when the shadow of it becomes Anid, when it is married to Anid. I think this is clear enough. So, so those people, they told him, these people, they resist annihilation. Uh, we will not enter as long as there are people whom we cannot destroy. Uh, this is not a military fear. It is a fear of the limit, the fear of encountering a dignity that cannot be broken. That's why the people of Musa, they told Musa, we won't enter this land. Go and annihilate these people for us. Now, in Jabbarin, there is a subtle ambiguity. Either tyrants, okay, if they are Anid, or simply irreducibles, people too strong to be dominated, too rooted to be humiliated, too solid to be annihilated. Outwardly, the tyrant and the irreducible resemble each other. Inwardly, they are opposites. The tyrant is hard because he is afraid and weak inside. The irreducible is firm because he is dignified, because he is Aziz. His Jabarut, his uh, Jabarut comes from his Izzah, from his dignity. Now, in Tunisian dialect, and since I'm speaking to you from Tunisia, in Tunisian dialect, we have the word Jabri. We say this person is a Jabri. For example, in a town like this, like Susa, we are very racist in Susa. The people of Susa, they feel superior to the rest of the people of Tunisia. And if people they come from the peripheries, or they come from the mountains, or they come from Qayrawan, or they come, we call them Jabri. Jabri in the Tunisian dialect, which is in ancient Arabic, Yemeni, it means foreign, simple, foreign, rough, uncivilized, basically, in Greek, barbarian, like the Greek Barbaros, the one who is outside our world. So Jabbar thus becomes the one outside our control, outside our norms, outside our civilization, and outside our expectations. Not necessarily evil, but irreducible to our system, to our political system, to our intellectual system, to our emotional system. In Hebrew, we have the same root, we have the same word almost. So Jabr in Hebrew becomes Gabr. That is Gevora, Gabor. So it means to be strong, to be strengthened, to strengthen oneself, to prevail over weakness, to regain vigor. We find the word Gever, and that's a strong man, Gevora, structuring force, and Gabor, the one with inner vigor. Same root, same original meaning, not to crash, but to be restored and to strengthen. We have Jibril and Gabriel, the divine force that restores. That is the main function of Jibril. It is force of restoration. Jabr, force, restoration, El, God. So Jibril or Gabriel is the divine force that restores and transmits. Restores what? Restores the fitra of the human being, restores the original nature, the heart of the human being, the original heart. It mans the heart of the prophet, brings it back to the original state so it can actually receive. And through that, it restores what? It restores the nubuwa. It restores the risala. It restores the message. It restores the original message. And that's why Jibreel keeps coming back again and again to restore that message that got lost. Huh? So Jibreel is not a warrior angel. He is the angel of revelation, the one who repairs the organ of reception, the heart, the one who straightens the human consciousness through the message to make it capable of receiving the world. That is the function of Jibreel. That's why he hugged, he or it or she, I don't know, whatever, okay? Beyond all of that, when Jibreel hugged the Prophet 3 times, what was it doing? And before then, it came and opened the Prophet's heart. Okay, real vision, whatever, but that was the reality of it. Sharh al-Sadr. Why? That was straightening a human consciousness to make it capable of receiving the word. And after that comes Iqra, now you are ready to do it. Receive. Receive the word now. Jibreel is the living function of Al-Jabbār. Now, from Al-Izzah to Al-Jabarut. In metaphysical tradition, several domains are distinguished. This is the philosophical Sufism, but also Al-Batiniya. Batini, Ismaili, Batini, and the philosophical Sufism, they have lots of common points because they marry philosophy and spirituality, both of them. And that's why they come to the same conclusions. And that's why you have lots of intersections between Ibn Arabi and Al-Kirmani, for example. Kermani is a Batini, Ismaili. Ibn Arabi is Allahu A'lam, but he claims to be a Sunni. And people insist that he is a Sunni. Whatever. Allahu A'lam. I believe that both of them are above all of this. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. They reach the level beyond this Sunni, Shia, Ismail, etc. But anyway, the identity that they came in with. So there is this intersection anyway. In the philosophical Sufism, we distinguish between the domain of al-mulk or an-nasut. It has also the name of an-nasut, and that is the world of visible power. Higher, there is the world of al-malakut, and that is the world of meaning and souls. Sometimes between these two worlds, they include an intermediary world, which is alam al-khayal. They call the world of al-khayal. That's why the revelation comes. So we can say mulk and then khayal and then malakut, or mulk and then malakut. And after that comes al-izzah, which is the domain of inviolable dignity. And higher than it, there is al-jabarut, which is the domain of sovereign power. We have in the dhikr, subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, and we have also that very beautiful dhikr that in many countries they recite after Taraweeh, which is Subhana Dhil Izzati wal Jabarut. So one glorifies inviolable dignity, Al Izzah, and then ineluctable sovereignty, Al Jabarut. Izzah protects being, Jabarut governs becoming. Al Izzah protects the being. It gives the structure, it gives the spine. You remember the meditation last week? It was about the spine. Al-Izzah gives you the spine. Al-Jabarut governs the becoming. It reassures that even if your spine gets broken, we'll mend it for you again. So, according to Ibn Arabi, Al-Mulk or Al-Nasut is the world of bodies. Al-Malakut is the world of souls and images and angels. Al-Jabarut is the world of sovereign act. And then higher than Al-Jabarut, there is Allahut. Allahut is the world of the essence itself. And that's what the Sufis, they need to reach. Sidi Muhammad al-Madani and Sidi Ahmed al-Alawi, both of them are my teachers. And in their poems, both of them, they say the same thing. They say, for example, Sidi Ahmed al-Alawi, he says, Al-Mulk wal-Malakut, كذاك الجبروت فكلها نعوت مصيرها لله. The mulk, which is the world that you see, the world of manifestation. والملكوت, the world of inspiration. كذاك الجبروت, the world of pure power. All of these are bad attributes, and Allah is above all of that. So go to the essence. فغب عن الصفات وهم في ذات الذات فذي تجليات مصيرها لله, says Muhammadani. Leave all the sifat behind you, and him في ذات الذات, become so passionate with the essence of the essence, and that's Allahut, because all the attributes are but manifestations, and all the manifestations, they go back to the all there is, Allah. Al-Jabarut is the world of uh, metaphysical necessity. So Al-Jabarut is the world of pure intellect, according to Ibn Arabi. It is the world of pure intellect. It is the domain of divine command, al-amr. It is the plane where decrees become acts. In Malakut, meaning is still open. In Jabarut, meaning becomes law. That's where Al-Khidr acts. That's the domain of Al-Khidr. Surah Al-Kahf, that's from where Khidr is coming. Literally. Literally. So at the end, Musa told him, oh, I see where you are coming from. And that's not a place that I can actually relate to. So we can now understand Al-Jabbār on these levels. The psychic level, the one who repairs inner fractures. Beautiful, huh? Jamal, Jamal, Jamal. Like it brings tears to your eyes. The one who repairs inner fracture. Historical, the one who raises the broken people. Cosmic, the one who governs in the order of the real in Jabarut, to keep the system, the cosmic system, healthy. So this is not the name of the tyrant. It is the name of the physician of the soul, the repairer of history, and the sovereign of cosmic order. Then, according to our stable key, Al-Jabbar is a unity of repair, a unity of repair. We see it. There is a law. Things are, or a unity of law of repair, if you want. A unity of repair or a unity of law of repair. We see it everywhere. There is no facade that lasts. There is no evil that lasts. Any evil will become good at some point. There is a mizan that restores itself. So, unity of repair, and it is a force of restoration. Also, a force of inner healing, a force of inner restoration. In more cosmic version, we can call it, it is unity of sovereign order and force of the real's coherence, the force of the real's al-haq coherence. So we saw together that Al-Jabbar is the power that restores without humiliating. It forces you, but it does not humiliate you. The force that repairs without crushing. The authority that heals. The sovereignty that imposes coherence upon the real. It is irreducible to tyranny, anterior to all domination, superior to all violence. One could say the tyrant is a false Jabbar. He forces because he is fragile. Al-Jabbar is the true Jabbar. He restores because he loves the verticality of being. In Izzah, nothing can be humiliated. In Jabarut, nothing can resist the order of the haq, of the real. Uh, we don't have much time, but let us have 5 minutes meditation because this is the name that is needed. You hear me well? The music around me is not disturbing you. So please now, I want you to really leave this room of intellectual and critical thinking and go to the room of meditation, which is inside you. Uh, take a moment to become still. Let the body settle. Let the breath become quiet. And let the surface of the mind gently calm. And slowly turn your attention inward. Close your eyes, that will help you. Turn your attention inward, not toward what you do, not toward what you control, but toward what in you is in need of being restored here and now. Here and now. What is in you that needs of being, that needs to be restored, that is in need of being restored? Bring your awareness to the body. Sense where there is attention when we mention this inner fracture, where there is fatigue, where there is a subtle memory of pain. Now, gently let your attention move deeper toward an inner place where something once broke. Not necessarily dramatic wound, perhaps just a disappointment, a betrayal, a loss, a humiliation, a long forgotten fear that has not been addressed. Do not analyze, just feel it. Just put the hand of your consciousness on it. Just pay attention to it and feel it. There is in every human being a place that has been fractured by life. Stay there. Don't escape it. Stay there quietly for a moment. Inhabit it, embrace it, that place of fracture in you. Now, notice something important. Some wounds heal by themselves, some fractures do not. Some parts of us are too bent, too distorted, too tired to restore themselves alone. This is not weakness, this is the human condition. Say silently, just touch the place that spoke to you when you are, or that speaks most to you when you are talking about this, any place in your body that where you feel pain or tension when we are talking about this. If there isn't any, just put your heart, put your hand on your biological heart and say, here is a place in me that I cannot straighten by myself. Here is a place in me that I cannot straighten by myself. Here is a place in me that I cannot straighten by myself. And remain in, honestly. Now, very gently, let the name arise in you. Ya Jabbar, Ya Jabbar, Ya Jabbar, Ya Jabbar, Ya Jabbar, Ya Jabbar. Not as a word of power, but as a call for restoration. Feel what this name truly means. Not domination, not violence, not force mainly, but the one who sets the broken bone, the one who restores what is crooked, the one who repairs what life has fractured. Let the name descend toward the place of the wound, deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Now imagine, not with images, but with feeling, a firm and compassionate presence placing its hand exactly on your hand where the fracture is, not to comfort, not to flatter, but to redress. And you may notice something. Restoration is not always gentle. Straightening is not always comfortable. Sometimes healing requires a firm movement, a correction, a reorientation. If a subtle pain appears, do not resist. This is not distraction. This is repair. Now widen your awareness. Feel that your personal wound is part of something larger. Families are fractured, peoples are fractured, histories are fractured, civilizations are fractured. And beyond all this, there is a domain called Jabarut, the domain where disorder is brought back into coherence, injustice is reinserted into justice, chaos is reintegrated into order. Say inwardly, what you repair in me, you repair in the world. Say it again. What you repair in me, repair it in the world, because I am but the mirror of the world. What you repair in me, repair in the world. What you repair in my consciousness, repair in the global consciousness. Now recall your stable key silently, inwardly. Say, Al-Jabbār, unity of repair, force of restoration. Pause. Say it again. Al-Jabbār, unity of repair, force of restoration. Al-Jabbār, unity of repair, force of restoration. Let these words descend from thought into being. And repeat the prayer of Jesus. Like your mercy is in the heavens, in the world of thoughts of consciousness. Make your mercy descend on earth or- and manifest in the earthly existence, the world of the project of the human experience. Feel the unity that repairs is a principle of the real. Feel the unity. Feel that repair is a principle of the real. Feel the force. Feel that restoration is an active power in existence. Hang on to that. Not because you believe in it, but because you are a witness. You are a witness that repair is a principle of the real, and that restoration is an active power in existence. Hang on there. Now, sense your spine again, not rigid, not proud, just upright and reassured, like if there is a cushion behind it, as if something in you has been very slightly realigned, as if a subtle verticality has been restored. This is the signature of Al-Jabbār, not to make you strong, but to make you aligned. And now let us end with a prayer. You may repeat silently after me, or let it be spoken for you. Ya Jabbar, you who restore what life has fractured. Ya Jabbar, you who straighten what has been bent. Ya Jabbar, you who repair what no human hand can repair. Ya Jabbar, come to the places in us where time has wounded us, where fear has twisted us, where humiliation has broken us. Set again what has been dislocated. Restore in us the access of dignity. Redress in us what has lost its verticality. Do not leave us in our crookedness, nor in our distortions, nor in our hidden fractures. Make us places where your repair can happen, where your order can descend, where your coherence can appear. Make us places where your repair can happen, where your order can descend, where your coherence can appear. Ya Jabbar, unity of repair, force of restoration, repair our hearts, repair our histories, repair our narratives, repair our words, repair our world, and make us, after having been repaired, instruments of repair for others. Amen. Amen. Let the prayer settle. Let the breath return. And when you are ready, open your eyes and gently come back. Thank you. And let us be Jabbar for one another, not tyrants against one another. Love you all, and may these words help to restore and repair places in you that needs to be restored and repaired, as your presence is restoring and repairing places in me that are in need of restoration and repair. Ooh. Yeah. Salam alaikum.